बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. We begin with our opening prayer. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Bhagavan He Ram He Ram He Ram He Ram. हमें दया करो गुरुर ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ते सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार वरनो रघुबर विमल यश जोदायक भरचार बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि वेद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय. शरणम हे नाथ मम संकट हरो हरि. Please be seated. We join in Rama and Jopais.
था धर्म में असरथ जाके जीतन कहना तहुरी ताके जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम राम जय जय सीता राम जय जय राम वह शोभा जिस समाज से है कहत न बनित वर्ण शारद शेष श्रुति सोरस जान महेश सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरण बंदो पवन कुमार कलबन पावक ज्ञान घन जासु हृदय आगार बस ही राम शर चाप धर
बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की। Devotees, today we celebrate the celebration of Phagwa, or Holi as it's referred to. So what we will do this morning, in just a few moments I will just give a very brief explanation as to the meaning of this wonderful celebration, and then we would spend the rest of the time in Kirtan, Bhajan, and specifically some wonderful compositions, holies as they are called, that are normally sung during this event. So first of all, what is Phagwa about? Holi or Phagwa is about two things. It's about coverings and it's about colorings. Now, as you would know, there are many stories given as to the origins of these celebrations. The main one that we all know is the story of Prahlad and how he dedicated himself to the Supreme, and eventually that Supreme manifested as Narsingh Bhagwan to destroy his father, whose name was Hiranyakashipu. But importantly for us, as the story goes, Hiranyakashipu had a sister whose name was Holika, and she tried to destroy this little boy by sitting with him in a fire and covering herself with a shawl. This shawl had special power so that she wouldn't get burnt, at least normally. But it is said in this situation, when she sat with Prahlad on her lap, she covered herself with the shawl, intending to have Prahlad burnt. It is said, as the story goes, the shawl flew away and she was burnt, whereas Prahlad remained unharmed. And so, the ashes were thrown up in the air as celebration, and so we have Holi. So this has to do, devotees, with the covering part. You see, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranya means gold, Kashipu is like a padding or cushion. So Hiranyakashipu, again, is the story of all of us, how we behave, very self-centered, egocentric. Everything is about me. And holika, that word holika comes from the Sanskrit root hul, which means to cover, to conceal, to kill. So when you reflect holika sitting with Prahalad on her lap, it tells us that within us, by the way, the word Prahalad means filled with joy. Prahalad. So our true nature is like Prahalad. But what happens, we are all sitting in the lap of Holika, which is a covering. And what is that covering? As we've been saying time and time again, it's your mind. Whether you use the word ego, whether you talk about kanjukas, all of these different things we say, we just have one word for all of that: your mind. And so, what this signifies is that to experience your true nature or the supreme, you have to burn away this covering. You have to burn away the mind. And it cannot be done by the mind itself. Why? Because if you try to use the mind to destroy the mind, it's like getting a thief to play a policeman. What sense does it make? The mind itself is a problem. So only when holika is burnt, this covering over your true self is burnt, then you can celebrate. Understand? So it's another way of representing. So now you decide if you have a way to celebrate or not. And secondly, we speak of coloring, so it's a festival of colors. And as the story goes, Sri Krishna wasn't very dark, but when Putna tried to kill him, he became very dark because the poison in his body, if you understand. Same thing with Lord Shiva. His throat became very dark blue. And there's a reason for this coloring. So in the story, Sri Krishna was upset when he saw Radha, who was quite fair. And people who are somewhat dark, like me, when you see fair people, they go, okay. But you feel a little thing because you're a little dark, right? So Sri Krishna was a little bit depressed that Radha was so fair and he was so dark. And his mother, tired of him nagging her with this, I am so dark, why is she so fair, why I have to be so dark? She told him, you know what? You go and approach Radha and you color her in whatever color you want. And so, Sri Krishna took up various colors and he tried to darken Radha, as it were. In a playful way. And since then, this playful coloring of each other is known as Holi. So again, what does this mean? It is a wonderful celebration, yes. But we reflect on what's the meaning of coloring really. And what does it mean to color someone, to be colored by someone, to be colored by the Supreme, to put forth a color? There are many things we could talk about, but I wouldn't go into detail today. I'll just say that this blue, this dark blue color, is a color of all-inclusiveness. It's a way of representing everything. When you look up at the sky, what do you see? In the daytime, of course, blue. It represents vastness, the vastness of the self, of yourself. When you look at the ocean, it's blue, depth. So we have this in Sanatan Dharma. Lord Shiva, some people say blue skin or blue throat. You have Lord Krishna, who was darkish blue, blue-black. You have Sri Ram, who was darkish blue. It's not really a case of somebody being dark, The color represents something. So for Rama, that which shines within, it's all pervasive, blue in color. Krishna, which means joyfulness, bliss, dark blue in color. It's everywhere. Bhagwan Shankar, white and blue. So blue is everywhere but white. Why do we have white? And we've heard that white light, that is the basis of all colors. So to put it simply, devotees, at holy time we appreciate diversity in all its colors. Everybody, we are all part of that one creation. And secondly, to understand the basis of your coloring, to understand who you are, you need to dig deep below these colors, the colors of your personality, let me put it like that, the colors of your mind, and find that Krishna, that bliss within, that is the base, the source, the base color. Okay? So with those few words, devotees, as I said, you can't find the Supreme by talking. Talking is the grossest, basic starting point. But then we move into that bliss, into that silence, and we express. We try to express that joy through the various compositions that we have. So this is what I'll attempt to do this morning. Maybe I'll just give a brief meaning as to what I'm going to sing before. And if you could join, join. If not, you just relax and let it sink into you. Enjoy the bliss of these compositions, music. Most of them coming from Banaras, Uttar Pradesh, most of them. So it's also a way of honoring, our ancestral legacy. And I would call this predates all of the chautal as we know it. And we know what chautal is, we hear it. But these compositions predate the modern day chautal singing that we have. Okay? So let's get into it. I will begin with, and I feel like I must sing it, Bhagwan Shankar playing Holi. And when we had our yagya, I gave the explanation for this. So knowing what it is now, again, you concentrate on this story in your mind. Bhagwan Shankar playing Holi. Where? In the cremation ground. With what? Ashes. खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी भूत पिशाच बतोरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी लखी सुंदर फागुनी छटा के लखी सुंदर फागुनी छटा के मन से रंग गुलाल हटा के मन से रंग गुलाल हटा के चिता भस्म भरी झोली हाँ चिता भस्म भरी झोली दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी गोपन गोपी श्याम न राधा गोपन गोपी श्याम न राधा ना कोई रोक ना कौन बाधा ना कोई रोक ना कौन बाधा ना साजन ना गोरी हाँ ना साजन ना गोरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी नाचत गावत डमरूधारी नाचत गावत डमरूधारी चोर सर्प गरल पिछकारी चोर सर्प गरल पिछकारी पीते प्रेत थपोरी हाँ पीते प्रेत थपोरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी खेले मसाने में होरी दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी भूतनाथ की मंगल होरी, भूतनाथ की मंगल होरी। देखे सिहाए बिरज के चोरी, देखे सिहाए बिरज के चोरी। धन धन नाथ अघोरी, हाँ धन धन नाथ अघोरी। दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी, खेले मसाने में होरी। दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी। भूत पिशाच बटोरी, दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी। खेले मसाने में होरी, दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी। भूत पिशाच बटोरी, दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी। खेले मसाने में होरी, दिगंबर खेले मसाने में होरी। बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की। And now we compare and contrast that Holi as celebrated by Bhagwan Shankar to Holi as played by Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Radha. These wonderful celebrations and the interactions with each other. So, this composition is from the perspective of the devotee, Radha. रंग दारूंगी, नंद के लालन पे रंग दारूंगी. Find out Sri Krishna and रंग दारूंगी. Apply this color. In other words, devotees, celebrate Holi, but with who? Prabhu Sri Krishna. नंद के लालन पे, नंद के लालन पे रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। ओ रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हो रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। धाधा के नक दिन, धाधा के नक दिन। ओ रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हो रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। रंग दारूंगी रे, रंग दारूंगी रे, रंग दारूंगी रे, रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। नंद के लालन पे, नंद के लालन पे रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। सावर रंग लाल कर दूंगी, सावर रंग, सावर रंग, सावर रंग, सावर रंग, सावर रंग लाल कर दूंगी। मलि गुलाल दो गालन पे रंग, मलि गुलाल दो गालन पे रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ। नारी बनाई के, 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 नाचन चाहूंगी, नारी बनाई के, नाचन चाहूंगी, दफ मृदंग के तालन पे रंग, दफ मृदंग के तालन पे रंग, दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ। डरो नानेक पकड़ लो उनको, डरो नानेक पकड़ लो उनको, बेंडी लगाऊं बिन भालन पे रंग, बेंडी लगाऊं बिन भालन पे रंग, बेंडी लगाऊं बिन भालन पे रंग, दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। नंद के लाल, नंद के लाल, नंद के लाल, नंद के लालन पे रंग, नंद के लालन पे रंग, दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी, हाँ रंग दारूंगी, दारूंगी, रंग दारूंगी। Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Radha playing Holi. And you know, devotees, when you play in Bhagwa, you get messed up, right? And after a while, you can't recognize who is who. Important point. Because fundamentally, devotees, we are all the same. And when you play Bhagwa, everybody gets messed up, everybody looking the same way. So, in this composition, you know, that celebration of Holi is being carried out. Bhagwan Sri Krishna is there, Radha is there. But at some point, everybody becomes drenched. And you can't tell who is who anymore. So how could you tell who's Radha, who's Krishna? You can't tell. But as the composition goes, to recognize Radha, look for her eyes. Look at the eyes. That will tell you who is who. And so, Radha looking for Sri Krishna, she finally finds him, and he removes these colors that veils her vision. In other words, when we dedicate ourselves to that Supreme, these colorings over ourselves, our minds, you know, they are removed. These negative personalities, and then we really see. सकल ब्रज धूम मचे हारे, सकल ब्रज धूम मचे हारे, खेले हाँ खेले श्याम होरी गिरिधारी बनवारी, बिपिन बिहारी मुरारी बनवारी, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, खेले हाँ खेले हाँ खेले, श्याम होरी गिरधारी बनवारी, बिपिन बिहारी मुरारी बनवारी, सकल ब्रज धूम। कृष्ण जी प्यारे नंद को लाल, कृष्ण जी प्यारे नंद को लाल, ग्वाल बाल सब डालत गुलाल, ग्वाल बाल सब डालत गुलाल, मरत पिछकारी मरत पिछकारी, रंग की पिछकारी रंग की पिछकारी, बजोरी वृषभान दुलारी राधा प्यारी, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, सकल ब्रज धूम। सर से पग तक रंग में भीगी, सर से पग तक रंग में भीगी, कोई कैसे जाने कौन राधा गोरी, कोई कैसे जाने कौन राधा गोरी, दो नैना हाँ दो नैना हाँ दो नैना, रसीले खजरीले शर्मीले, दो नैना रसीले कजरीले शर्मीले, फिर छीले सकुछीले निहारे बनवारी, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, खेले खेले, श्याम होरी गिरधारी बनवारी, बिपिन बिहारी मुरारी बनवारी, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, सकल ब्रज धूम मची हाहारे, सकल ब्रज धूम। Wonderful composition, devotees. We continue to concentrate on Sri Krishna. थारो तेरे द्वार रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार. Stop right there, Sri Krishna, stop. खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार. खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार. खातिर कर ले नई
गुजरिया रसिया, तारो तेरे द्वार.
थारो तेरे द्वार रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार. खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार. खातिर
कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, तारो तेरे द्वार. आ
रसिया नित द्वार न आवे, प्रेम होए तो दर्शन पावे, अद अमृत को भोग लगावे, कर में मानी अब मत चूके, समय न बारंबार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार खातिर
कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार।
हृदय की जो की करहेली, निह कुछ चंदन चरचन वेली, दीक्षाले बन जइयो सेनी, पुतरी न पलंग बिछाय पलक की, कर ले बंद की बात खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया,
तारो तेरे द्वार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, तारो तेरे द्वार।
जो कछु रसिया कहे सो करियो, सासन नद को दर परिहरियो, 16 कर 32 पहरियो, दे दे दाम सुमति संपत्ति, जीवन है दिन चार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया,
तारो तेरे द्वार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, तारो तेरे द्वार।
सब ते तोरी नेह की डोरी, जमुना पार उतर चल गोरी, निधर के खेलियो करियो होली, शाम रंग जरह जाए जा दिना, भय जाए बेरा पार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार, थारो तेरे द्वार रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार खातिर कर ले नई गुजरिया रसिया, थारो तेरे द्वार, थारो तेरे द्वार, थारो तेरे द्वार। बोल श्री कृष्णचंद्र की जय। उरत अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है, उरत अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है, उरत अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है। लाल श्याम लाल भाई राधे, लाल श्याम लाल भाई राधे, लाल लाल ब्रिज पार, लाल लाल ब्रिजवा लाल छाए उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाल छाई है उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाल छाई है अंबर लाल लाल भय जमुना अंबर लाल लाल भय जमुना लाल गावे गोपाल लाल गावे गोपाल लाल छाई उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाली मोरे चंद्रिका लाल भय रे मोरे चंद्रिका लाल भय रे मुरली लाल विशाल मुरली लाल विशाल मुरली लाल विशाल लाल छाई उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है उड़त अबीर गुलाल लाली छाई है उड़त अबीर. We join together the devotees. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद 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 जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद 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 जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय. बोले श्री कृष्ण भगवान की. Devotees, for some, Holi comes with a bit of sadness. Interestingly, though a celebration of joy, Meera experienced great sadness at this time of Holi. Why? Well, we have friends, family, people to, play phagwa with, as we say. But who did Meera have? She was reliant upon Sri Krishna, but he wasn't there. So, Meera, how did she express her feelings around Holi time? In this little snippet of Meera's poetry, we listen. Genu sang khelu ho. Who should I play Holi with? Piya tej gaye hai अकेले खेली केनु संग खेलू. My Lord, He is not here. Has He forsaken me? I am all alone with no joy. How am I to celebrate this joyous occasion of Holi when He is not here? केनु संग खेलू पिया त्यज गए हैं अकेली केनु संग खेलू. श्याम बिना जियरो मुरझावे जैसे जल बिन बेली. Without Sri Krishna, I am like a plant without water. I am thirsty. श्याम बिना जियरो मुरझावे जैसे जल बिन बेली. मीरा को प्रभु दर्शन दीजो. मीरा को प्रभु दर्शन दीजो. मैं तो जन्म जन्म की छेली दरस बिना खरीदू है. दरस बिना खरीदू है. Reveal yourself, O Lord. I follow you. I'm searching for you life after life. I am here. I am just here, longing for this vision of you. केनु संग खेलू पिया त्यज गए हैं अकेली केनु संग खेलू केनु संग खेलू केनु संग खेलू. I don't want to end on a sad note, devotees, so let me proceed to wrap up. There are other wonderful compositions that are known as kajris, normally sung by women who are expecting their loved ones to return. So I'll use the opportunity just to present two wonderful compositions, kajris as they are known, kajri. Again dealing with Prabhu Sri Krishna, that longing, in the heart of someone. सावन झर लागेला धीरे धीरे 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 सावन झर लागेला. बादर गरजे रामा बादर गरजे रामा बादर गरजे बादर गरजे बिजुलिए चमके चुनर मोरा भिजेला धीरे धीरे चुनर मोरा भीजेला धीरे धीरे सावन झर लागेला दादुर मोरा रमा दादुर मोरा रमा दादुर मोरा पपिहा बोले पायल मोरा बाजेला धीरे धीरे पायल मोरा बाजेला धीरे धीरे सावन झर लागेला धीरे धीरे सावन खोलो शाम अब खोलो शाम अब खोलो शाम चंदन के वरिया अकेली दर लागेला धीरे धीरे अकेली दर लागेला धीरे धीरे सावन झर 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 लागेला धीरे धीरे बरसन लागी बदरिया बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया बादर गरजे बादर गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बादर गरजे गर गरजे गरजे बादर गरजे बादर गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बादर गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बादर गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बोलन लागी कोयलिया हाँ बोलन लागी कोयलिया घूम घूम के बोलन लागी कोयलिया घूम घूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रामदास रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास 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 के रामदास के रामदास के रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी चरण कमल चरण कमल नित छूम छूम के चरण कमल नित छूम छूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के बरसन लागे हाँ बरसन लागे हाँ बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के। बोले श्री कृष्ण भगवान की। And so devotees, with these few wonderful compositions and reflections, I conclude this morning's presentation on Holi, and I hope it was meaningful to you and you had, a glimpse of that wonderful, blissful experience of that divine. At this point, I will like to call upon our chairperson who has a special presentation or special presentations to make today. She will inform you further what it is about. So I now invite Dr. Sarika Ramlochan Singh.
Sitaram. Today, we take time to acknowledge two very important people of Gyan Deepak who celebrate their birthdays in the month of March. Firstly, to our Paramacharya, Pandit Haridev Prasad. Past experiences have taught us that you are impartial to compliments, but we feel the need to express our appreciation to you indefinitely. We beseech you to be patient and allow us to praise you in the same way that Bhagwan himself tolerates and accepts our continuous and humble prayers. After all, Guru Devo Bhava. Guruji, on behalf of the members of Gyan Deepak, we wish to thank you for all that you have done for us, directly and indirectly. Your interactions with us have brought great joy to our lives. The lessons imparted, once practiced, nourish us and bring greater perspective on our purpose. Guruji, there is none like you, and although we are here today to wish you a very happy birthday as you grow 1 year physically older, the ignorance within us that holds us attached to you wish that you may live forever, such that even our great-great-great-grandchildren can experience what we are fortunate to experience in your company. You shower so much understanding and compassion and mold us into the best version of ourselves. We fear to even drop from that best version so that we may not disappoint you. Guruji, we seek your forgiveness for all the times our limitations show through. Know that we love you, appreciate you, and wish great things for you. You emit a magnetism that charms us. You lead by example. You make us strong in a world that seeks to shatter our beliefs because we see its benefits through you. Guruji, we have so much more to learn and need you always. Our gratitude can never fully be expressed, but in celebration of your upcoming birthday on March 23rd, we wish to bestow onto you a token of our appreciation. I now call on Shivrani Prabhudyal, who will make the presentation on behalf of the members of Gyan Deepak. Happy birthday, Guruji. Secondly, to Mrs. Arti Prasad, who celebrated her birthday last Friday, March 18th. There are never enough good examples of good people in the world, and we are tremendously fortunate to have you within our amity. You are ever pleasant, approachable, and inspiring. As a wife, mother, professional, vice person of Gyan Deepak, amongst so many other roles, you show us that we can accomplish it all, effortlessly and with a smile. Your inner strength is admirable and outer decorum outstanding. Thank you for being you. On behalf of Gyan Deepak, we ask that you accept this token of appreciation presented by Saurav Ramnarayan in celebration of your birthday, and we wish you many, many more happy years to come. Happy birthday. You can join me for a round of applause. Thank you for your attention. I will now pass you back over to Pandit Umesh. Sitaram.
Thank you, Sarika, our chairperson. And now I pass over to the Paramacharya for his message, blessings, or whatever he sees fit.
Bole Vrindavan, Sri Krishna Chandra ki Jai. Firstly, devotees, let me say many thanks and blessings to members of the Gyan Deepak Kirtan Mandiri for your words of appreciation, recognition. And my mind reflects upon my parents, to whom all credit should be given. I would not have been here, for sure, were it not for my parents. And whatever has happened over the past so many years, to which credit is attributed to me, I feel that it is what they have put into me. It is they who have made me, and therefore full credit should be given to them. And as I get older, I hope and pray that whatever I attempt to do would be further enhancing what they have done, and credit will go to them wherever they may be. As our scriptures say, Matri Deva Bhava, Pitri Deva Bhava, mother and father. And of course, I can't forget my Guru, who also has helped to shape me in so many different ways, from a spiritual perspective also. So that, to put it simply, you members of the Gyan Deepak Kirtan Mandir and whoever I've interacted with, you have that blessings coming from generations. My Aja, who came from India, I don't know who my Par Aja is or who he was. I don't even know my Aji, but I'm sure their blessings are with us, and that are being passed down to all who we've interacted with. And so if you look at it, I always feel that as I get older, we praise the fruits. We praise the beauty of the tree, the trunk, the leaves, the branches, the flowers, but we forget the root, which is the source of everything. So, at this auspicious time, as I get older, I keep saying this over and over, the mind reflects more and more. Less on me and more on who have made me what I'm supposed to be. At this point in time, that is. The journey continues. And some may want to know, Sarika mentioned 1 year older. Well, as men, we don't hide our ages. So I'll be 72 on Wednesday. 72 years. 72 beautiful years, filled with all kinds of experiences. And it will take the young ones many, many years of experience to realize what we have experienced. This is why we see things from a different perspective. Our philosophy is basically different because of anubhav, because of experience. And there's nothing to substitute for that. Absolutely nothing to substitute for that. As we live, we learn. Once upon a time, I thought that I had all the knowledge. And then I realized that what I knew is nothing. When you begin to experience, then you start to see different perspectives. It's a beautiful journey. And I've been telling others, it's beautiful to get old. But Sarika, I don't want to live to see your great-great-great-grandchildren, because what will happen to me by then? Imagine what I will look like. Already looking washed out. Yeah? So, whatever time God has given to us, based upon our karmas and so on, we try to live every moment of it. And as we get older, as I just mentioned, you start to see things different, totally different. Like you're climbing up a mountain, your perspective of the panoramic view becomes different. When you're down in the ground, you see exactly what is in front of you. You can't even see what is behind that. But as you get higher up the mountain, you see a bit further. And there comes a point in time when you reach to that summit. Then what you get, only a panoramic view. No details, but a beauty that exists on all sides. A beauty that is indefinable and also inexpressible. This is why it's beautiful to get old, but with the right attitude, right focus. If you're caught up in the rat race of life, then every day is a hell. So to those of you who have grown up together with me, bear this point in mind also. And to the younger ones who have not been exposed to what the older ones have been exposed to, kind of follow the pattern a little bit. It will come. Life is beautiful. It's mixed. Even the pain appears to be beautiful at some point in time when better understanding comes, because everything helps to make you who you are and what you are. So, again, I'm saying as I get older, all these celebrations that we do, including Phagwa, appear to be a little bit different for me now. I've always asked in years gone by, why the Shankaracharya never play Phagwa? When we were younger, running in the savannah and spraying each other, and you know what? Shankaracharya would sit in his hammock and look at him. Those of you who know him would realize that. Why didn't he play? And I'm saying, yes, he played Phagwa. Now that I can understand it, I don't want to go out in the savannah again anymore. In any case, you can go. And COVID is teaching us so much. These expressions upon the Umesh for the morning, they're so beautiful. How could Krishna Bhagwan identify Radha? Through the eyes? Why you have to wear so many masks we wear day after day? What you have to look at right now? Now the eyes, we are being taught these lessons on a daily basis. Listen to the bhajans carefully. Now, Krishna Bhagwan's friends, the Gop and Gwal, they played with Krishna Bhagwan. They enjoyed with him. But I ask a question. Is it the same kind of enjoyment that we get when we play normal Phagwa? running in the savannah. Rangadaro, Rangadaro. Many people think it's Rangadaru. Not Daru, Daru. Rum. Jump in, they drag the whole ceremony, this whole celebration into disrepute. There are different levels. And as we have been saying, 3 ways we can, express, reveal the secrets of the universe. Experimental, cosmological, metaphysical. Experimental is very necessary. It helps us to, for social reasons and so on, release tension. We all know all those things. All the coloring and so on, that's physical. They appear before the physical eyes. They appear beautiful or disastrous as the case may be, based upon our own experience. And if you look at what Bhagwa has become, what is supposed to be, think that ecstasy that was experienced playing Bhagwa with Krishna Bhagwan. Do we have that ecstasy? Bhagwa has become so different. There's a joy, yes. And there's a grace, a very base, joy as such. More worldly, very, very worldly. And so you have different dimensions to this. Even politicians getting into it now to behave in certain way to serve their own agendas. Nationally and internationally. So people use it based upon where they are and what they want to achieve. But what are we supposed to achieve? The cosmological aspect. Ranga Daru. You have to color yourself. How do you color yourself? Panitumesh mentioned some. My perspective on it is that each color has a certain connotation. Each color has a certain connotation. So in a simple sense, like red represents strength, courage. If you look at the colors of the national colors, they are chosen because of certain qualities. Coloring ourselves with these colors, representing the aspiration to achieve these qualities that exist. This is what coloring yourself means. Coloring yourself, this is in one form. Coloring yourself. Each color represents a different quality. And this is where the metaphysics come in. Playing with Krishna, all those who play with Bhagwan Krishna, do you think that they were thinking that I am playing with Krishna? In their mind, everything was Krishna. Everything was Krishna. So the colors didn't mean anything too much, if you understand the joy of being with Krishna. Meera, beautiful to conclude with that, Meera wasn't playing any physical Bhagwa, but Meera was colored totally with the color of Bhagwan Krishna. What is that color, devotees? Bhagwan, Bhag means qualities, powers, and there are basically 6 powers that divinity carries. And these can be represented by different colors. We won't elaborate upon them, just to mention them. Gyan, wisdom. Bal, physical strength. Shakti, power. Not power to dominate others, to cause pain, but power to help others. Shakti. Tejas, effulgence. Yes, when you live the kind of life you're supposed to live, there's a brilliance about you. It develops as you tap into the inner light. Antar Jyoti Namo, Paramatma Jyoti Namo, Mama Jivan Jyoti Namo. It all ties in there. The effulgence comes out. Yashas, glory. And Virya, valor. Amita Vikram, like Pawan Putra Bajarangbali. Pingaksham Amita Vikramaha. Valor. Each of these colors represents different qualities here. And by playing, coloring, it's not physical. After a while, you come to not the physical, but the actual coloring. As I would believe that the Shankaracharya did. And many of us, as we get older, this is where we go. We acquire the coloring of that divine, these qualities that are, our true nature. And so I am saying that, yes, let's enjoy Bhagwa. Wherever you are, but as in everything else in Hinduism, understand there is always something deeper. We are not killing the joy of it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. But when a circumstance like this, like COVID, where you can't, interact in this kind of way, what is Bhagwa then? This is why you come to the Manasik part of it, the internal part of it. Then Bhagwa has a meaning for you. How many lifetimes are you going to just color the eye and color the teeth and color the hair and we are not coloring ourselves in the way we are supposed to be? So make sure you have, as you celebrate Bhagwa, You can't run about now, as I said. You have to internalize like Meera did, staying right where you are. As I'm sure Shankaracharya did. And in my case, I'm surely getting there. We are coloring ourselves with these divine qualities, that rang that we really, really need in our lives. Otherwise, we dance today, we clap, we sing. In India, they drink lassi, bhang, they get drunk. What kind of enjoyment is that? That's just material. And tomorrow you're still drunk. You're back to normal, you have not lifted yourself one little bit. So I'm saying that every celebration that we have, every celebration is supposed to take us to a different level. Every puja we do is supposed to take us to a different level. Everything in Hinduism that we do is supposed to take us to a different level. And you should be aware of this. And this is where the individual journey comes in. Nobody does it for you. Nobody could do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And if what I'm saying is not very clear to you at this point in time, as I keep saying, I've been saying this for years, don't throw it away. Keep it somewhere in the back of your head. One day to come, you'll remember that yes, the Pandit was saying that. I'm seeing things differently now. If you keep saying, if you've seen everything the same way, 15, 20, 25, 50, 70 years ago to now, have you grown? Or you have been liberated since then, which I doubt. I doubt. So this is where growth is all about. You measure it. Okay? So devotees, Bhagavad is beautiful, but you know, all the celebrations that I said tell us something deeper. And it's very personal. This is the metaphysical aspect of it. And I don't elaborate because each person is at a different level. So wherever you are, you take it at that level or go forward. But those of you who still in the first level, remember, it is much, much more. There is much, much more than what meets the eye. There is so much more than what meets the eye. Try to go there. Try to go there. So devotees, we will just glorify Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And in a little while I want to glorify Sri Ram, so we will glorify these two aspects and I will conclude. At the same time, I want you to enjoy your Bhagavad. But believe me, true enjoyment comes. You see, right now, honestly to God, I truly enjoy Bhagavad more than before. So much more than before. Meera was alone, but she was not lonely. Kanhaiya was in her mind day and night. Day and night. This is the whole idea. When you withdraw from all the physical things around you, there's only one direction to go. That is towards that divine. Whether he's Leela Purushottam, Maryada Purushottam, Din Dayalu Kripa Sagar, Bhagwan Shankar, whichever aspect of divinity, this is the journey. So devotees, we begin with Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Simple bhajan, simple kirtanam.
जय बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा यशोमती के लाल की ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती जय बाल मुकुंदा ये जग में ज्योति अंतकरण की प्रकाश कराने वाला परमार्थ बताने वाला परमार्थ बताने वाला ये श्याम सुंदर की वर गिरधर की चहु ओर उजियार है ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती। जय बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा यशोमती के लाल की। ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती। जय बाल मुकुंदा जय बाल मुकुंदा जय बाल मुकुंदा. So we visualize Bal Mukund devotees and we glorify him. हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल. हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल. वेद सार जीवन का धार, वेद सार जीवन का धार, हे वेद सार जीवन का धार, वेद सार जीवन का धार. गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार, गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार, हे गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार, गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार. हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल. हे मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल. हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल. हे जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला, जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला. हे जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला, जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला. हे नटवर नंदलाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाल नंदलाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाल. हे नटवर नंदलाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाल, वर नंदलाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाल. हे जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला, जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंदलाला. हे गिरिधर गोपाला, 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 हे गिरिधर गोपाला. कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला. कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला. चित चोर यशोदा की बहार, नवनीत चोर गोपाल, चित चोर यशोदा की बहार, नवनीत चोर गोपाल. हे चित चोर यशोदा की बहार, नवनीत चोर गोपाल, चित चोर यशोदा की बहार, नवनीत चोर गोपाल. गोपाल 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 हे गिरिधर गोपाला, 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 हे गिरिधर गोपाला। राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। गिरिधर गोपाला, गिरिधर गोपाला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोप बाला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली गान लोला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोप बाला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे राधा रमन लोला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे राधा रमन लोला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे राधा रमन लोला। हे वृंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे कान लोला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली कान लोला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली कान लोला। हे गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला। राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। हे माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला। माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला। हे माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला। माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला। जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला। कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला। जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला। पूरे वृंदावन श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। And the devotees will glorify Sri Raman. Will conclude simple kirtanam. So again I invite you to join me. Get absorbed in kirtan. Jai Raghunandan, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jagajanani, जानकी रामा। जय रघुनंदन, जय जय रामा। जय रघुनंदन, जय जय रामा। जय जगजननी, जानकी रमा
जय जग जननी जानकी रमा
जय जग जननी जानकी रमा
जय जग जननी जानकी रमा
जय रघुनंदन जय जय रमा
जय रघुनंदन जय जय
जय रघुनंदन जय जय रमा
जय रघुनंदन जय जय
नव नव कोमल मेघन श्यामा
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 भवहरन भद्राचल रमा
भवहरना भद्राचल
मनहरन भद्राचल रमा दशरथ नंदन हे परमात्मा
हे परमात्मा
दशरथ नंदन हे परमात्मा
दशरथ नंदन हे परमात्मा
दशमुखमर्दन श्री रघुरमा
दशमुखमर्दन श्री रघुरमा
दशमुखमर्दन श्री रघुरमा
दशमुखमर्दन श्री रघुरमा
राम 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 हे राम 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 हे राम 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 श्री राम 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 हे राम 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 हे राम 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 हे राम 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 हे राम अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
हे राम 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 बोलो राम राम 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 राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
हे राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम।
हे राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। हे राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम।
हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे
अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
हे
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम।
हे
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। हे राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। श्री राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। हरे राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। जय जय राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। बोलिए श्री राजा रामचंद्र की।
So devotees, at this point, we have not performed our regular rituals during this period, so we'll move straight into our final arati and then closing prayer. I ask you all to please stand. We join together in our final arati.
मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण रहो किसकी।
स्वामी शरण गहो किसकी।
तुम बिन और न दूजा,
तुम बिन और न दूजा।
आश करो जिसकी।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
तुम पूरन परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी।
स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी।
पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर,
पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर।
तुम सबके स्वामी।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता।
स्वामी तुम पालन करता।
दीन दयालु कृपालु,
दीन दयालु कृपालु।
कृपा करो भरता।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति।
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति।
किस विधि मिलो दया में,
किस विधि मिलो दया में।
तुमको मैं कुमति।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे।
स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे।
करुणा हस्त बढ़ावो,
करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ।
शरण पड़ा तेरे।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा।
स्वामी पाप हरो देवा।
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ,
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ।
संतन की सेवा।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
We join in closing prayer. शिव हरे शिव राम सखे प्रभु, त्रिविधता निवारण हे विभु। अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय धनुहरे मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज ॐ मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ॐ असतो मा सत्गमय ॐ तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय ॐ मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, आदिशक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोले श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, बोले श्री स्वाहा माता की जय। Devotee, this morning we don't have any further announcements. So just to remind you, service continues next week, and well, if all goes according to plan, we continue with our study of Sri Ramcharitamanas. So you are invited to join us again next week Sunday as service continues. Let me wish all of you an auspicious, holy or Phagwa, and you celebrate in your own way, and of course, as usual, you try to be careful wherever you are, wherever you go, whatever you're doing, and we hope to see all of you back in temple on next week Sunday. So that's it for this morning. Jai Sri Sitaram.